Okay, everybody, we are ready to go. We are live and we are recording, and you are in the right spot for today's webinar, The Recipe for Social Media Success. My name is Jeffrey Brown. I'm with Main Street Hub, and I am joined today by Mr. Greg Sterling from the local Search Association. Now, this is our first webinar together. I'm really excited about sharing this great marketing content with all of you today. And I'm part of our local outreach team with Main Street Hub doing webinars and also live events educating business owners on how to use their social media sites and how to make the most of them to stay top of mind. Getting engaged with your current or future audience, or just spread great word of mouth. Now, Main Street Hub, just a little bit about us, is if you don't know who we are, we've been around for over 7 years, and we're 100% do it for you service, helping 10,000 local businesses right now across the United States, managing social media like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and also your favorite review sites like Yelp and Google. We respond to all of your reviews, the good and the bad, as well as make sure you're staying engaged and top of mind with your audience. This is probably my favorite part. We have written over 10 million posts. We've gained a ton of data and a ton of insight, and I'm excited to share that with you. But now I'm going to hand it over to Greg. He's going to explain a little about what LSA does and what he does.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jeffrey. Um, LSA is a trade organization that is focused on location-based media and marketing, and we have a lot of members in a lot of places. Traditional media providers, digital media providers, Yellow Pages publishers, newspapers, internet companies like Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Yelp, and so on. And we also work directly with local business owners to help educate them about digital marketing and media. And so, in that capacity, I'm excited to be here today with Jeffrey and Main Street Hub to um, talk about a number of topics tied into social media marketing. And my role here is really to set the stage for Jeffrey's advice. So, I'm going to kind of provide some big picture um, information. So this is what I'm going to talk about how consumers use digital media to make largely offline buying decisions, how social media is part of the consumer shopping journey, but with other sources too, and it's sort of demographically determined to some degree. A lot of this is happening, or much of this is happening on mobile devices, and people who did any Black Friday weekend, Cyber Monday shopping probably used um, their smartphones to make some number of purchases. I assume that people did that. I did that. And then finally, before Jeffrey speaks, I'm going to talk about why reviews are important and some of the challenges around reviews right now for business owners. So, as I said, despite the hype and excitement around e-commerce and all the cyber weekend stuff, most purchases still happen in stores, physical locations, and um, that's even more true for service businesses. So, if you're a service area business, you're going to do everything. You're going to fulfill in the real world. So the internet and digital media are very important, but the ultimate transaction typically occurs in the physical world. Pardon my dog barking in the background for those of you who can hear her. Um, so here's how people have been using the internet since the beginning, and it's only recently become transparent to people. You go online, you do a lot of research, and then you buy locally. So what we see is that large majorities of consumers use the internet to find local business information. And this is probably true in your own capacity as consumers. And depending upon the category, people use lots of different sources. So if you're doing vacation planning, if you're doing, you're looking for a car or a place to live, an apartment, a home to buy, you're doing months and months of research across many, many sites. If you're looking to go to a restaurant, you may look at one or two sites right before you go. So it's really category dependent. Social media plays a role in this process now. So search is very heavily used, obviously, and people find out about businesses and opportunities through different media sources, media channels, including today, still very much traditional media are part of this mix. But social media is an increasing part of this discussion. So These are data points that were aggregated by a company called eMarketer from different data sources. 30% of retail shoppers are doing product discovery on Facebook, and that's often because friends are recommending products. And then Instagram, it's an even higher percentage. So Instagram is very widely used by certain segments of the population in particular, and it's part of this whole shopping process for them. As I mentioned, different categories are going to be see different levels of penetration and usage regarding digital media, and in a social media context in particular, this is just one survey. So just keep in mind this is directional, this is not definitive. People are using social media to look for these things as part of their shopping journey. Hey, can you recommend? Or somebody sees an ad, or somebody sees a discussion about, a particular item. And so this is just an illustration that social media are used across categories by people as part of this process of making buying decisions. Somebody wants me to speak louder. Okay, I will try and turn up the volume to the highest possible level. Okay, let's see if that works. Hopefully you guys can hear me. We'll see. Yes, good. Thanks, Carolyn. All right. In stores, people are using these tools. So think about your own experience. You've got a smartphone in front of you. You're standing in front of a display. You're in a Lowe's or Home Depot or something, and you're doing price comparisons or looking at product reviews. People also text each other. Hey, I'm standing in front of this. I'm going to buy this. What do you think? Communicating with their friends, family, spouses. So that you can just see that these digital tools are being used not only in a desktop context at home, but on the go and in stores. Sorry about the dog. What can I say? I can euthanize it after the call. No, sorry about that. Bad joke. All right. Um, yes. Sorry, Becky. Uh, Now, as you all know from personal experience, once again, mobile is, if not at parity with the desktop, near that, or for some people, it's the medium they use most often. And you can see this chart reflects that segmentation by age. So people who are older than a certain age are still favoring the desktop. Younger users favor mobile devices. Now, of course, I wouldn't kill my dog. I love my dog. Most of this time that people spend on mobile devices is very concentrated in a small number of apps. And you can see this. This is ComScore data showing the penetration levels of different apps. And Google and Facebook are the dominant ones here. You've got Snapchat in there. You've also got the music service Pandora. But otherwise, it's pretty much Google and Facebook that people are spending most of their time on. Now, into the sort of final portion of my presentation before Jeffrey takes over with his fantastic tactical tips. Um, Everybody knows that review sites are very important. Everyone looks at reviews before making decisions, whether they're buying a product or whether they're hiring somebody to paint their house. And you can see a distribution of sites that people will go to. And it can be very vertically specific. So in a travel context, you're going to look at TripAdvisor. In a restaurant context, you may look at OpenTable, Yelp, or other sites. Facebook is very prominent and increasingly so because they have an enormous volume of reviews. But there are a lot of different sites that people use, and Google is, of course, another important one. And we can see data that validates the proposition that reviews have a significant influence on consumer buying. So you may not be able to read all of this clearly. Hopefully you can. But what it shows on the left is that positive reviews make it more likely that people will purchase something for a business or use that particular business. Negative reviews have a negative impact. Although less so than last year, interestingly, in this survey. But nonetheless, if you see negative reviews or you see too few reviews, often you're going to be reluctant to work with that business. Now, interestingly, the vast majority of people have this sort of incorrect assumption that people only write reviews when they're upset. It's That's actually not true, and the data show that. So mostly people write positive reviews. Sometimes they write negative reviews. But if everybody wrote a review, what you would see is a volume of positive reviews much greater than negative reviews. Most people have not been asked to leave reviews, and if they were, you would see many more positive reviews. So that's what this chart stands for. Yes, we can talk about the Yelp review filter. I'm not going to get into that in a lot of detail. We can talk about that at the end. I'll tell you just very quickly. Yelp has this thing that they call not recommended. It used to be called the review filter. Now it's something like not recommended. And what Yelp says it's trying to do there is it's trying to protect the integrity of its content, trying to weed out what it perceives as um, untrustworthy reviews. And business owners are very frustrated with this. I won't get into that in detail, but this is something that has fed into the perception that Yelp is manipulating reviews, selectively posting reviews, trying to get people to advertise, all these things. What they're really trying to do is they're trying to prevent fake reviews or competitors' reviews or dubious reviews from showing up on the profiles of local businesses. And um, it's a challenging and imperfect process. Um, and if they don't know you, or if you don't have all the hallmarks of credibility, you're not a participant in their community, they're going to be less likely to trust you. And that's why reviews tend to get filtered. Back to the proposition of asking for reviews, most people, if they're asked to leave a review, will do so. Most people are not asked. Most local business owners don't ask their customers to review them. Some do. Um, so this is a more survey data that stands for that proposition. If you ask somebody to leave a review, they will typically. And as I said before, most people who have been asked to leave reviews leave positive reviews. Now, reviews are important not just because they actually influence consumers' buying decisions, they're also important for ranking. Google increasingly considers reviews as part of its local ranking factors. So when they decide which sites to show above other sites in what are called the local results portion of local businesses above the general organic results, uh, reviews factor into that. They're one consideration in who shows up higher and who shows up lower. So more reviews and more positive reviews will improve your SEO visibility, your local business visibility. Now, this is an excerpt from Google's policy on reviews. You can read this online. Um, they're saying don't incentivize reviews. Don't offer contests or don't do uh, financial incentives or other kinds of incentives to get people to write reviews. Don't have a review station in your place of business. That'll be seen as a danger sign, as a red flag that might indicate fraud or that employees are writing reviews. So if Yelp or Google see reviews coming from the same IP address in the same business location, that's a big problem. So you shouldn't do that. Google's policy is fairly flexible other than these things. Yelp's policy, by contrast, is not. Yelp does not want anybody to ask for reviews under any circumstances. Even if you're asking every single customer identically, regardless of whether or not you know they would write a positive or negative review, Yelp does not want you to ask anybody for reviews. So this is a big challenge because the different sites, Facebook, Google, Yelp, and others, TripAdvisor, etc., OpenTable, have um, different policies. So if you want to play it completely safe, you don't ask anybody for reviews. You can put site, you can say, I mean, Yelp will say, you put their stickers in your window or put, some badge on your email signature that says people love us on Yelp, which is a soft way of implying that they can be reviewed. But don't explicitly say, please review us on Yelp. Please review us, um, you know, or worse, only selectively ask people for reviews. If you do that kind of thing, you run the risk of um, being penalized by them, and we can talk more about that at the end after Jeffrey's stuff. In terms of home-based businesses, Carolyn, uh, in terms of reviews or visibility, that's a longer conversation. We can get into that at the end. I don't want to delay Jeffrey's discussion. So I'm going to turn it over to him. Anybody who had questions about what I just said or anything that Jeffrey raises, we can speak about at the end. So Jeffrey, over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Greg. Today, we're going to be kicking things off with how to create engaging content for your social media sites, how to build relationships on social media, and how to enhance your email marketing, and also wrapping everything up with how to respond to these reviews. We definitely encourage you to tweet us at Main Street Hub at MarketingBitz, hashtag recipe for success. Let us know you're listening in. Also shoot us some questions. And we'll have a Q&A at the end with whatever time we have left. Now, if you have questions we don't get to them, please take down our contact information at the end and send us all your questions. So today we're going to be talking about the recipe for social media success. Now, there's no proven number of ways you can be doing to make sure you're 100% successful, but following these 4 tips, you'll be on your way to making sure you're getting engaged online, showing great customer service, serving high engaging content with a dash of how to protect your reputation by responding back to these reviews. So why is engaging content so important? It keeps your pages fresh and exciting. It helps attract current and new customers. It builds that great reputation online, just like you have in person when somebody walks through your door. And more importantly, it strengthens brand awareness. So small businesses today are competing with a lot of noise, and consumers are plowing through the clutter as they use DVRs to skip through commercials, ad blockers to browse the websites they love without ads interrupting, and customize what shows up in their social media news feeds, just like your consumers do. Posting great content all across your social media platforms is the best way to direct new customers to your local business this season. Replace that sales pitch with engaging photos, questions, information across all your social media, and you'll be able to reach more consumers. And they're going to start engaging with you more. It's just like a conversation that you would be having if I were in your business, because you're producing the high quality engaging content. Now, product and service. You definitely want to have photos of your business, and these photos you can place on your Twitter page, your Instagram, and your Facebook page. Now, people are ready to spend money, and you really want to show off your business in the best light through these product and service photos. And posting great content about your business and what you offer is more likely to influence them to use your business. And it's important to let everyone know what you have to offer this holiday season, whether that's easy transmission tune-up, or you make custom dresses, or you even make custom jewelry. Let your audience know through high engaging content and high quality photos. What's your favorite part about your business? What are the first few words that somebody would describe your business for? Your business has so many aspects that are true for all of us. So it's a great way to stay engaged and a different way to encourage conversations and even start a conversation online, and the best way possible for your business to stay top of line. So you really want to vary your content when you're posting on your social media sites. Really getting engaged and creating that conversation and creating a different way for you to strike up that conversation with your consumers as well. Now, you definitely want to let people know what's going on about your business, but you don't want to be a walking advertising online. If I wanted to see advertisements, I would just flip through the newspaper or listen to the radio more, or just not skip my commercials when I'm looking at my TV shows that I watch. So you definitely want to let people know what's different about your business this season. As a local business, everyone is different. No one has the same things going on. So be sure to promote it on your social media sites to inform your audience and entice them your way. Do this sparingly, though. You don't want to overwhelm your followers with the same material. And make sure you're including these holiday posts. We just had Thanksgiving, but we know Christmas and New Year's Eve, New Year's Day are right around the corner. So let your audience know when you're going to be closed, special hours, things that are going to be popping up. You definitely want to make sure that you're letting your customers know exactly what's going to be going on in your business, so they can definitely know when to come in and when to expect you to be closed as well. Now, if a customer's taken the time to write great things about you, publicly sharing these great things, you definitely want to let not only your current customers that have left you these great sayings on your social media sites, but you also want to let your future customers know the great customer service they can expect when they walk in that door. Now, this is not only beneficial for the customer that left the review, but all of the other customers who are looking at your social media sites as well. It's going to keep you top of mind, and not only do that, but it's going to also set the quality of standard of when they walk into the business. They know they can expect great customer service when they walk through those doors. And more importantly, the holidays are full to the brim with events and a lot of things going on in your local community. So remind your consumers, remind your local community that you are local to them. Post these things on your Twitter, your Instagram, your Facebook. Let your audience know the reason why they come back to visit your business over and over again is because you're local, you remember them, and you have that overall feel of when they walk into the business, they know they're going to be having that that great feeling of that they know your name. Just like in Cheers, where everybody knows your name. So you definitely want to have that same effect online, just like you do in person. Your local business needs to be present, active, and engaging on Facebook in order to compete with other businesses in your industry, especially for local businesses. People of all ages, genders, and geographic locations are using Facebook as a way to show support for and keep in touch with their favorite businesses and do research on new businesses they want to visit, whether that's an automotive shop, restaurant, a spa. Your content and what you post on your social media sites, especially on Facebook, has the power to bring in new and repeat customers. Try to post your businesses on your business's Facebook page a few times a week, at least 2 to 3 times. You definitely want to make sure when you're posting on these sites that you want to mix up the content. I don't want to see advertisings all over the place. Neither do your consumers. They want to know what's going on about your business. Who's that man that, just did your hair? Or who's a lady that just changed your tire? We definitely want to make sure that we have a face behind what's going on in the business, and definitely show your future customers exactly the faces, the smiling faces they can see when they walk through those doors. Include descriptions of the services and products that make your business unique. You're a local business. You stand out already because you are a local business, and you do give that great factor to your local community as well. Now, with Twitter, you want to stay on top of your posting schedule and monitor your mentions, notifications, and direct messages to make sure you don't miss an opportunity to provide your customers with information they might be looking for. Your Twitter page is a great platform to use for quick information, links to articles, and hey, you're the experts in your industry. You might have some tips and tricks between visits to your local business that you might want to offer your consumers. This is the platform to do so on. So definitely make sure that when you are doing that you are using this platform to the fullest and getting the word out and starting that conversation online. With Twitter, you want to post to your business's Twitter page a few times a week, just like on Facebook, at least 2 to 3 times, varying your content to include photos, hashtags, and like I said, links to articles relevant to your industry. But more importantly, you want to be able to start that organic conversation. And you want to make sure that it's relevant to your business. And when you start this conversation, it does a couple of things. It puts you in front of new customers, but at the same time, it also lets your current customers know that great customer service that you have online and that you're willing to have a conversation with them. And this allows the business to get great feedback. If your restaurant, maybe it's a new menu item that you might want to include. So having an organic, natural conversation never hurts for a local business. And so, like I said, you want to definitely mix up the days and the times that you publish content, and be sure to track your metrics through trial and error. You'll find the schedule and content vary that works best for your business and your audience. So you definitely want to be maintaining your Twitter presence. And like I said, Twitter is a terrific place to not only listen to social media conversations, but also start that organic conversation online as well. And this helps you see what's on the mind of your target market and react quickly to their needs and their interests. Instagram. Instagram, one of the most popular social media platforms, rising in growth and popularity, and it has become a must-have platform for local businesses in every industry. Now, Instagram's most prominent users are young adult women and millennials, but no matter who your target demographic is, it's important to be present, active on Instagram, and to give exciting visualization of your atmosphere and your products. So you want to try posting on your Instagram page 2 to 3 times a week. If you're doing a special or running a campaign, maybe throw in another time, so 2 to 4 times a week, if you will. And mixing up the days and the time, using at least a few hashtags specific to your industry. And if you're unaware about what hashtags to use or really how to go about it, look up businesses that are in your industry on Instagram. Do your research. There's nothing wrong with that. But be sure to measure your metrics to ensure your followers are engaging with your posts. From there, you'll be able to discover what's going to work best for your business. Using email marketing combined with great online presence is going to help your local business maximize your business's online communication. Social media email marketing have different audiences and strengths, but they're both going to provide a unique way for you to engage with your community, not only your current community for the people coming into your business, but also your future community as well. You want to make sure, like I said, and I keep on saying this, the great customer service and the way that you interact with your audience and your consumers in person is how you want to interact with them online. Now, the benefits of using email marketing: visual content. You might want to throw in a picture of your business, a picture of your staff, or if you're featuring an employee of the month. It's also a great way to cross-promote a lot of those great reviews, a lot of those great testimonials. As a consumer, you want to see the great things that are being said about a business before you walk in. What better way to see an email? Or if you are a current customer, this might remind you, oh, I've been to this business and got my oil changed, or I've been to the spa and it was a really great experience. I might want to go check it out again. Or, give someone this as a gift as well because I think they would enjoy this. Now, and you also want to do this with, it's going to be easy for you to communicate as well with your consumers. An easy way for them to forward the email to future people they might think are interested in the business. And it's just a great way for you to stay top of mind and an easy way for people to see what's really going on about your business as well. So you want to use email marketing to stay in touch with your current customers. Not only to stay in touch, but to also make sure you're building great relationships online just like you are in person. Now, whether that's offers, specials, or VIP emails to your current customers, letting them on the inside of what's exclusive about your small business, it's going to help you stand out amongst your competition. And if email marketing isn't a part of your small business's marketing strategy, it should be. About 86% of consumers want to hear from you from their inbox at least once a month. Now, you don't want to overload them, but you want to make sure some important things that you would want your audience and also your future audience to hear about. And it's going to be a really great way to increase your customer outreach. That's right, Carolyn, it really is a great way to do that. Now, email marketing is going to have a wider reach. And social media is going to also give you the opportunity to reach the people you hope to add to your email list. So you can use your social channels like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook to reach out to more people from different backgrounds, interests, and locations to try to expand your customer base. And utilizing both email marketing and social media to market your business is definitely going to ensure that your business is at the top of your customer's mind. Inboxes and their news feeds. So you want to make sure that you're not just using email marketing just for one thing, but you're using it across all of your platforms to make sure they're all working together. Additionally, social media is going to provide a platform to collect more email addresses. And your emails offer that opportunity to promote your social media pages and the great things you're doing in-house for your local community as well. So when you utilize email marketing for your business, you can reach targeted customers, people on your subscription list, and others who have asked to be included when you send out news and updates. Mostly, your email audience is made up of people who have already expressed interest in your business already, as well as existing customers. That's going to help spread more awareness about your business and put you in front of a new audience. You know how important it is to show your guests excellent customer service when they come into your local business. But did you know that consumers have high expectations for businesses' social media customer service too? 67% of consumers now utilize networks like Twitter and Facebook for customer service requests, and about 33% of your consumers even prefer to contact brands using social media rather than picking up the phone and calling you. What this means is that each and every message and mention and wall post that comes from your business on social media has the power to influence the consumer's opinion of your business. Now, the likelihood of them visiting is going to be at a greater chance because you're implementing that social media customer service strategy. That great same customer service that you have face-to-face is online now. So this is going to help increase that customer satisfaction. As a local business owner, it's important to monitor all of your wall posts, direct messages, mentions, reviews, and tags that come into your businesses on your platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Yelp, and Instagram. Now, many of these online reach outs from your current potential customers, they're going to be requests about information about your business. When are you open? When are you going to be closed? What specifically do you do? So you want to make sure you have all that information there, or if they ask you these questions, that you're getting engaged with them. That way you're staying top of mind, showing that great customer service. Now, when someone writes on your business's Facebook wall, leaves that review, it's important to respond in the most personalized way possible. So that's including the customer's name at the start of the response. It's a great way to show that you're paying attention and care about each individual that you interact with. Now, in the review message or mention, it's going to contain detail about the customer's experience or particular thing that stood out about them, about your business. So you want to work that into the response too. Don't leave anything out. You want to make it genuine, you want to be specific, but you want to be authentic to your voice and to your local business. So you definitely want to make sure that's going on. The more personal, the better. It shows that you're listening, you value that customer feedback, and that you took the time to craft a response that speaks to their concerns. So you're being personable online, just like you are in person. Now, when it's a negative review, and that's a great question that you asked, Meryl, you want to definitely make sure that you are responding back to that review and you are saying, and that you are empathizing with that person as well. Not only that, but you are addressing every single point that they've made in that review. Whether they've had a bad experience, or the food was cold, or they were getting something changed, or they were with their kid. You want to make sure you're mentioning every single thing in that review. You want to make sure you're not leaving any details out at all. You want to make sure that you're addressing them and you're being professional, but you're also saying, we're sorry, what can we be doing better, and relaying that back to your staff as well. That shows your consumers that you are taking customer service very seriously, and you are going to implement that back as well. Now, a little bit to add to Greg's point, I know he was talking about reviews and how businesses should not ask for reviews, but you don't, like he said, you don't want to just ask for reviews right out, but you want to encourage your audience to leave you reviews. So whether that customer's communication that you're responding to a positive or that negative one, it's important that you thank your customer for taking the time to reach out and give you their feedback. So this is just constructive criticism, but it's the most effective way to find out what can you be doing better to improve the experience your customers have at your business. Now, don't forget to remind your customers that they're welcome to reach out anytime, encouraging more comments, mentions, reviews, messages, and not only increase your engagement, but it'll maximize your reach as well. So this is a really good point. If you're looking at the presentation, these are really easy examples of encouraging these reviews. And also, like Greg said, we're on Yelp in your window. Different things like that is what's going to help your consumers leave you those reviews. And really, like he said, they're going to more likely leave you positive reviews because you want them saying great things about you as well. Now, when a customer reaches out on social media to ask questions about your business or respectfully voice their concerns and you're successful in providing an answer, smoothing over that experience, just like when you're responding back to those reviews, that's a big win for your business, but also your online presence. On Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, be sure to retweet, be sure to share the positive resolution to these interactions like you see here. Or the testimonials that your consumers have left you is going to show that great customer service, not only the current customers, but really showing off to your future customers as well. And it's going to show off to everyone that follows you on social media and how seriously you take your customer reviews, both online and in the community. Now, just wrapping some things up, remember, you definitely want to be able to create high engaging content. You want to make sure, especially around this time of the year, to set yourself apart from everyone else. Are you promoting a new special? Letting your customers know you might be closed during certain times over the holidays? Or are you just trying to make sure people know more about you? Content is important on your social media sites, and it's a great way for you to stay connected and stay top of mind. You want to make sure you're still building those relationships. We know some of the most popular social media sites, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, these sites by themselves can do a lot, but you also want to make sure you're using these sites to get engaged with customers and help spread more positive word of mouth. And you also want to be able to enhance your email marketing. If email marketing isn't a part of that small business strategy that you've already created, you might want to get on board with it, because email is the greatest way for you to stay connected and also reach out and have a new connection with maybe some new members that might be interested in your business. It's going to help you reach a more specific group of people, your loyal customers. That's who you want to reach, future and present. And responding to your reviews, there's never a bad time to show your customers genuine love and appreciation online. Consumers these days, like I said, they're going to expect that same level of customer service online, just like they do in person. Regardless of how you show love to your customers and how you thank them, it's the personal connection that's going to differentiate you from the big chains, from the big dogs. So you definitely want to make sure that you're being personable online, and that's what makes you a local business. You're being personable, you're being authentic, and you're being you. And hopefully the love that you give is the love that you're going to receive. So try engaging with positivity, and your customers might just send that right back your way. Now, as you can see, we've dropped the link in a couple of times. We do offer one-on-one assessment if you want a little bit more personalized level. We do that here at Main Street Hub. Caroline just recently dropped that in there. It's a little bit above, so definitely make sure you click on that if you want a little bit more personal one-on-one. Look at your pages. We can definitely do that here. Now, like I said, we are recording. We will email this out by the end of the day today. So if you are just tuning in, maybe you had to refresh, maybe you had to walk away for a little bit, grab some coffee. Just in case you missed it, we are going to be sending this out. Now, Main Street Hub, we do about 2 or 3 webinars a month to give you local business owners tips and helpful hints to make social media a little bit easier for you. And so now we can go ahead and turn it over and start having some Q&A, some questions. So if you have some questions, type those in, and me and Greg are going to go ahead and start answering those.
Yeah, so thanks, Jeffrey. That was great. I just want to,
Thank you.
I just want to clarify what I was saying because it might have been a little bit confusing when I was talking about Yelp's policy versus Google versus others. These sites all have different policies when it comes to soliciting reviews or requesting reviews. None of them want you to pay for reviews or do something that looks like paying for reviews, like offering contests or competitions, write a review and be entered it for a chance to win. Um, but Google, Facebook, and others don't explicitly prohibit you from asking. So you could have an email signature or in a newsletter or on your website. You could say, you could provide a link to your profile or to a place where you could be reviewed, and that's not going to be as much of a problem um, for these other sites as it will be for Yelp. Yelp doesn't want anybody to ask for reviews at all. So there's a difference in policy which creates challenges for everybody. Um, but I just wanted to be clear on that. So you can ask people to review you on Google or on Facebook or potentially on TripAdvisor or OpenTable. You just can't do it for Yelp. So you might say, review us on these sites and just omit Yelp entirely from that list. Or you might just sort of not ask people in general, but you just have to be kind of conscious of these differences. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay. And I see somebody had a question a little bit earlier. Can you post too many times per day, i.e., 3 times daily? So you want to make sure a couple of things. You are posting 2 to 3 times a week. You don't want to post too much, you don't want to post too little, but when you are posting, you want to make sure that it's high engaging content. So maybe it's a special that you might have going on right before Christmas. I know it was just Cyber Monday and Black Friday, so maybe you have some different specials going on. Around this time would be a really good way to start posting those kind of promotions and specials. Or let's say that you might have a funny meme or you're introducing a new member of your staff. You want to make sure that when you are posting that it is going to be engaging content, but more importantly, content that's going to be shareable. So before you even post online, is this content that I would personally share? Would I like this? Would I get engaged with this if this was on somebody else's business page? Ask yourself those kinds of questions. You want to make sure that when you post something online, that it's going to be what your consumer is going to be looking for, what you would get engaged with as well.
Visibility for reviews for home-based businesses. Well, so um, in order to have reviews, you need to claim profiles or have your profiles set up on these sites. In Google My Business, you can set up your a profile for your business. In Yelp, you should set up and claim a profile. This is all free, and you can do this on Facebook as well. Your Facebook business page, obviously. Um, so you have to have those things in place for people to review you in the first place. All of those things are free, and that's different from advertising on those platforms. Um, in terms of getting visibility, that's a little bit more challenging. That's a longer conversation. Google does have service area businesses um, a capability of suppressing your home address. So on your profile, you can suppress your home address, and it won't show. You have to go into their controls to do that. More than that requires a longer discussion about how you get visibility. But this content advice that Jeffrey's been giving is all part of that. How do you expose yourself to your audience?
Now, I saw that someone asked a question a little bit earlier about how to collect emails via social media. Now, for emails from social media, maybe create a Google form to collect emails, or maybe if you have a website, create a section of the website that can be shared, or some email marketing platforms include the pages or URLs that can be shared for sign up purposes. Or if not, nothing ever hurts with just getting out a piece of paper, a clipboard, and just writing email address. Or when somebody comes in, just simply ask them for their email address as well. That's a great way to collect it. So that's a great thing as well. So you definitely want to make sure when you are encouraging people to leave their email addresses, you are making it easy for them. And sometimes the easiest thing, like I said, is just leaving out a piece of paper and at your business, or creating a graphic on social media saying, we would love for you to be part of our newsletter, or if you want to hear more about us, click this link. And that could go straight to a Google form as well, where you could collect their email address. Okay, Hannah, you said, I also need advice on getting more people to like my Facebook page. Should I call and ask? 100%. I left the link in there. I can drop it in there for you again, Hannah. But a great way to encourage people to like your Facebook page, like I said a little bit earlier, is through high engaging content. So maybe that's photos of your business. Maybe that's a photo of you. Maybe that's a photo of your employees doing what they do best for your business. Showing off some great reviews that people have left you on your Yelp and Google Plus page. Cross promoting those great testimonials that a lot of people have left about your business is what's going to start up that conversation and keep that conversation going through high engaging content. Online for your social media sites, not only just Facebook, but also Twitter and Instagram as well. Okay. Give me 1 second, Catherine. I'm about to find your question. Sorry.
I had my microphone muted. I was responding to something, but no one could hear me. Um,
Oh,
I just want to add a general comment to what Jeffrey was saying. I think, you know, people get into this mindset of, oh, we've got to do this or we've got to do that to comply with some set of rules around marketing. You really should take the perspective of your customer or your prospective customer. What are they interested in? What do they want to know? What do they need to understand about your business? What questions do they have? You know, sort of try and see the world through their eyes a little bit and create information to help them. What is, help them make buying decisions. Sometimes educational content is really valuable. You don't have to sell yourself all the time. You can teach them what are the kinds of things they need to understand when making a decision about, you know, whatever, automotive or home decorating or heating, ventilation and air conditioning, or pet related stuff. I mean, teaching them about the important issues that you understand as an expert is often a great source of content. And it's not heavy handed because you're not saying, buy my thing. You're saying, let me help explain my world to you and help you become a smarter, more informed consumer. And as a result of that, they'll potentially see you as a credible source, and that could turn into some business for you.
Greg, I couldn't agree more with that statement. Like you were saying, as a business owner, you're all the experts in your industry. To piggyback on that a little bit, so you definitely want to make sure that you're providing that expertise to your audience online. Like you were saying, maybe, for example, you're a dog groomer, and how do I keep my dog's, hair groomed, or what should I be feeding them if this happens, or the best way to keep their teeth clean. You definitely want to make sure that you're providing them that kind of expertise online, whether that's through a post, whether that's through email, but definitely on your social media sites, you can be posting those types of that type of information as well. You're the expert. Teach them some things, teach your audience some things, and drop some knowledge on them. That's a really great way to start a conversation and to get some engagement online as well, because maybe they'll start asking questions. And what better person to answer those questions than you, the business owner, the expert? Okay, Carmen, what is the biggest resource to obtain high resolution photos? and also in regards to posting content with what platform should be used for this. Okay, so if you want to get high quality photos, now of course everyone's not a photographer, but maybe that's you going out and finding a local photographer, or testing out some shots yourself. And when you do those shots, maybe that's a picture of you, maybe that's a picture of your staff, maybe that's a picture of the front of your building, because maybe a lot of people might not know what it looks like or where you are. Really basic things of how you want to do these pictures and how you want to have high quality photos is really just start simple. The inside of your business, the product, or the service that you offer. Maybe you want to take pictures of the inside of your shop or the inside of your restaurant or your spa. Different things like that. Those are some really great things for you to use as far as high quality photos for your business.
I would also say, one of the things that I think people on social media expect is authenticity.
Correct.
They will appreciate, even if your photography is imperfect, unless you're like the worst photographer in the world, even if your photography is imperfect, the authenticity of your own photographs or your employees' photographs may be better than stock photography, which looks generic or which looks kind of corporate, quote unquote. So you have to weigh the professionalism of stock photography and related kinds of generic information against the authenticity and the personality that your own content will convey.
Okay, I've seen a few people ask this question: which platforms are the best to upload content? Um, like Greg said, you definitely want to be authentic. You definitely do. But more importantly, with these sites, Instagram is going to be a huge pull because it is very visual. That's pretty much the whole platform. It's just blocks of great pictures and great content. Facebook is great for sharing content and especially connecting with people that are in your audience or maybe future people to where they can connect with their family, their friends, their network. And as far as Twitter, Twitter is going to be more informational. So maybe you want to put some links up there with some great high quality photos as well, with some more informational tips, like Greg was saying about you giving knowledge to your audience. You're the experts in your field, so you definitely want to do that as well.
One of the differences between content, what content you obviously, what do I post? What's the content? That's a big challenge for people. But uh, Instagram is just, as Jeffrey was saying, is just photographs. So if you run a bridal shop, for example, you could just post wedding dress after wedding dress after wedding dress, or flower arrangements if you're a florist. I mean, just really simple stuff without much text or any text, and you're conveying your work. You're giving people this really engaging imagery of the stuff that you do, the stuff that they're going to find in your store, or if you're a landscaper, pictures of your jobs. That kind of stuff is going to be really powerful. And it's enough for Facebook too, or Twitter in many cases. You don't have to write paragraph after paragraph, but you're showing people what you can do. You're showing people the kinds of jobs and work that you're doing, and so that kind of stuff is really simple and fast and really valuable.
Okay,
Good
Jill,
question.
you asked, are Facebook boosts for a day worth it to get important or timely information out? Um, Jill, I would definitely say you really want to make sure that you're growing your audience organically. There's nothing wrong with boosting your post, but at the same time, you really shouldn't have to boost your post if you're posting high engaging content like Greg was saying earlier, that your audience is going to hear about. So maybe that's you looking at a few of people that are in your industry, that are in your area, and seeing what they're posting, things that they're doing. Do your research. There's nothing wrong with that. And really see exactly where that's coming from. And, you can also schedule out your post as well. If you have events coming up, create a content calendar for those posts as well to time those out. If you have any local events coming up, in your community, definitely make sure that you have a calendar with those on there as well, so that way you don't miss those important dates as well. That is true, Victoria. People do love giveaways. I'm a sucker for that as well. I love a good giveaway. Those are definitely great as well. They're a great conversation starter. And of course, use those to your discretion, and make them fun as well. Do different things. Have them come into your business and, they have a key phrase or keyword they have to do, or share a photo, like your page. Things that are going to get people engaged with your business, but also for you to stay top of mind as well.
Yeah, I would say that's also a way to collect email addresses if you're transparent about it too. People will give up their email address for a chance to win something. Um, let's see. Nick, it's hard to answer that question quickly. How to minimize costs in Google AdWords? The short version is only bid on very specific keywords that are directly relevant to your business, not general terms. Bid on I don't know what your business is, but something really super specific, what they call exact match, so-called long tail keywords. But that's a very long discussion, hard to answer in this context. Carmen, you don't have to learn Photoshop or graphics to create great posts. No. Again, you know, put yourself in the mind of your customer. If you were one of your customers, what would you need to know about your business, or what would help you make a decision? Are you somebody who cleans rugs? Do you have a shop that cleans area rugs? Well, they want to see the rugs that you're cleaning. They want to see the facility. They want to know how long you've been in business, that kind of thing. So, I mean, help them understand why why you're the expert. Um, these sort of what people want from local businesses is they want great service, and they want to support local businesses. People are predisposed to support local businesses over chains or corporations. But they and so they want to know your story. What is your how why did you go into business? What problem were you trying to solve? Is it a family business? How long has it been in business? I mean, it really depends upon the specific context. Answer their questions. Invite them to ask you questions and answer their questions in a timely way. That's another way to handle social media posting. That's something that Emma Vaughn has recommended. Social media is a great customer service platform, as Jeffrey was talking about. Um, you know, make it a tool for them to ask questions and for you to provide answers. That's often a way to bring people closer to a purchase. If there's unanswered questions on your website, or they need some additional piece of information, you can provide that, and very often that'll help them. That'll be the final thing that they need to make the decision. You might also invite them to talk to you on the phone. Sometimes people get to a point where they need to have a conversation. So that's another thing that can happen. Why don't you give me a call, or let's take this offline and I can respond to your specific needs or whatever. I mean, it's a tool for conversations. That's the way to think about it broadly. So the more you can get people to engage and talk to you and ask you questions and provide you with feedback, it's a great source of information about maybe products and services that you don't currently offer, or what are their favorites, or what do they want in the future. Anyway, I think we're coming to the very end here.
Yes, and on top of that, really quickly, and Greg has said this a few times, be authentic with your business. This is your business. This is sometimes the first impression they're going to see of your business. So you want to make sure that it's a great first impression. Just like you're going on a date or you're meeting someone's parents or anything like that, you want to make sure it's a great first impression when they look at these pages online. Now, like I said, we are recording, we are live, and you will have this a little bit by the end of today, so just be on the lookout for that. But I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Really do appreciate everyone for taking time out of their day to listen and for all these great tips and tricks on how to make sure that you're getting great customer service online and the recipe for success for your social media sites. Now, remember, all of our webinars are free and fun and educational. I hope y'all had a great time listening in and was able to take some important tips away from today's webinar. I'm signing off. Remember, keep it local, keep it engaging, and keep it fun. And also, just like Greg said, if you have questions and we didn't get to your questions, feel free to take down our email addresses here and send us those questions our way. We're looking forward to it.
Yes, thanks very much, Main Street Hub and Jeffrey, for having me. I enjoyed it, and hopefully we got to many of your questions or most of your questions. And if we didn't, I'm happy to answer them offline.
Thank you, Greg. Really enjoyed it.